In just over 2 days since the conflict between Israel and Hamas erupted, the most advanced U.S. aircraft carrier, USS Ford, has arrived in the Middle East after covering a distance of over 2,400 kilometers. A week later, the USS amphibious assault ship, carrying more than 2,000 Marine Corps personnel, followed suit to be ready to respond to any contingencies. The speed of the U.S. military's deployment to hotspots around the world is astonishing, making all adversaries uneasy. Based on the U.S. military's deployment time in the Middle East, experts estimate that it would take only 6 days for a U.S. aircraft carrier to reach the Taiwan Strait in the event of a conflict with China. This demonstrates not only the ability to rapidly deploy forces worldwide, but also the capability to handle 2 simultaneous conflicts. In today's world, we will delve deeper into the strength of the U.S. military through its naval deployments. In early October, armed conflict broke out between Israel and Hamas for nearly a week. Israel conducted airstrikes on Hamas command centers and military facilities in Gaza. Immediately, the United States deployed 2 naval vessels to the Middle East, and the USS Bat amphibious assault ship transported over 2,000 Marines to the hotly contested region. The first U.S. aircraft carrier to arrive in the Middle East was the USS Ford, around 10 a.m. on October 7th. The USS Ford entered the western Mediterranean near the Mallorca Islands in Spain. On October 8th, the USS Ford set sail to the southeast of Sardinia, Italy, and just 2 days later, on October 10th, it was present in the Middle East. In just over 2 days, the U.S. aircraft carrier USS Ford covered a distance of over 2,400 kilometers, with an average speed of approximately 45 kilometers per hour, covering about 24 nautical miles. With this speed, it is calculated that the USS Ford could reach the Taiwan Strait from Hawaii in 6 days. The USS Ford began its deployment in the Mediterranean in May last year and was under the command of the U.S. European Command, primarily with the intention of deterring Russia in the conflict with Ukraine. U.S. aircraft carriers typically deploy abroad for 6 months, but the USS Ford's deployment was originally scheduled to return to the U.S. at the end of October. However, due to the unexpected Israeli conflict in early October, the U.S. Department of Defense extended its deployment schedule. Another aircraft carrier, the USS Carl Vinson, initially scheduled to arrive in the Mediterranean in November, departed early towards the Mediterranean, demonstrating the U.S.'s commitment to the region. The USS Carl Vinson has a battle group consisting of an aircraft carrier and 2 Arleigh Burke-class destroyers. It is the most advanced U.S. aircraft carrier to date, significantly more advanced than the Nimitz-class carriers currently in service. The USS Ford is equipped with a new electrical system using 2 advanced A-1B nuclear reactors, which reduces the workforce required by 50% for operation, but increases power generation by 3 times compared to Nimitz-class carriers. This allows the USS Ford to maximize the use of the electromagnetic aircraft launch system. Furthermore, the A-1B nuclear reactor can operate for 50 years without the need for refueling. The USS Ford is also equipped with an advanced electromagnetic aircraft launch system and the world's most advanced arresting gear system. While most major aircraft carriers in the world use steam catapults or ski jump ramps, the USS Ford's advanced technology is a game changer. The A-1B nuclear reactor and the electromagnetic aircraft launch system provide the USS Ford with a significantly improved capability to launch various types and weights of aircraft. It does not consume fresh water or steam, enhancing the operational efficiency of the aircraft on the carrier. The USS Ford is capable of achieving a maximum sortie rate of 140 to 160 sorties per day, while the Nimitz-class carriers can achieve 180 to 220 sorties per day. Additionally, the USS Ford's arresting gear system uses electromagnetic technology that can instantly analyze the real-time strain on the arresting cable and provide immediate feedback to the aircraft's engines. This can significantly improve the efficiency of aircraft recovery operations on the carrier. The USS Ford is also equipped with advanced radar systems. It has the dual-band radar, DBR, that includes the SPY-3 X-band radar for low-altitude search and tracking, and the SPY-4 S-band radar, primarily responsible for long-range surveillance. The USS Ford is designed to be able to accommodate the F-35C fighter aircraft in the future. The first F-35C aircraft operations on a U.S. aircraft carrier are currently being conducted on the USS Carl Vinson in the Indo-Pacific region. The strategic significance of this deployment is evident because it is designed to address potential threats in the Western Pacific at any time. The USS Ford and the USS Carl Vinson are part of the Pacific Fleet, which includes a total of 5 aircraft carriers. In the midst of the Palestinian-Israeli conflict, the U.S. rapidly assembled 2 aircraft carriers and an amphibious assault ship, demonstrating the U.S.'s ability to respond swiftly. The USSB amphibious assault ship will also transport Marine Corps personnel to the region, and 26th Marine Expeditionary Unit, with a total of 2,400 Marines, is expected to arrive in Israel around October 21st. They will join the task force to support Israel, and the USS Ford is already deployed in the region. The USSB is a Wasp-class amphibious assault ship, the 5th of its class. It can launch and recover helicopters and tilt-rotor aircraft, including the MV-22 Osprey. It has enough deck space for 5 main battle tanks, 25 light armored vehicles, 68 military trucks, and more. Additionally, it can carry 3 hovercraft, 12 landing craft air cushions, or 40 amphibious assault vehicles. Although U.S. amphibious assault ships belong to the Navy, they are often used in conjunction with the Marine Corps. Some of the flight deck crew may also be part of the Marine Corps. For example, tilt-rotor aircraft like the MV-22 Osprey can be deployed on amphibious assault ships. The deployment of the USS Carter Hall and the USS Fort McHenry to Israel from the Red Sea, using these amphibious assault ships as transport, demonstrates the U.S.'s ability to move troops from the shore to the ship. The U.S.'s military organization is about rapid global response, and at any time, it has its own military forces. Therefore, when a military crisis occurs, the U.S. military is usually the first force to arrive on the battlefield. The U.S. military has numerous combatant commands. For example, the U.S. Central Command oversees the Middle East and Afghanistan and is based in Tampa, Florida. The importance of these points is evident. Firstly, the United States has the unique and unparalleled capability of rapid response globally. Its military forces are deployed worldwide, and its aircraft carriers can reach Israel within 2 days. Not only aircraft carriers, but even Marine Corps forces are ready to move directly from their bases to Israel. No other nation can achieve such a rapid response. Secondly, the United States has the capability to handle 2 simultaneous conflicts. Recently, the United States provided an additional $200 million in military assistance to Ukraine while participating in an international conference in Brussels. Secretary of Defense Austin mentioned that the U.S. can simultaneously provide military assistance to Ukraine and Israel. Therefore, the statement made by the U.S. Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin during a press conference is not an exaggeration. The U.S. has the capability to conduct 2 wars at the same time and can support both Israel and Ukraine. On October 12th, according to reports, a bipartisan commission of the U.S. House of Representatives issued a statement following a study suggesting that the United States should expand its regular military forces and improve alliance relationships, as well as enhance preparations for waging 2 simultaneous wars with Russia and China. Currently, whether in the case of Ukraine or Israel, the U.S. military is not directly involved in the conflict. The United States is providing economic and military support behind the scenes. In both cases, the U.S. military is not directly engaged in combat, and everything the U.S. does is in the form of economic and military support behind the scenes. Whether in Ukraine or Israel, the U.S. military is not directly involved in the conflict, and the deployment of U.S. forces in Europe will not affect the situation in the Asia-Pacific region. The USS Ford and USSB were previously part of the Atlantic Fleet, but at the same time, the USS Carl Vinson and the USS America-class amphibious assault ships are still deployed in Japan. The USS Carter Hall and the USS Fort McHenry are currently operating in the Red Sea. This is a clear example of the strength of the U.S. military. Not only can it deploy rapidly worldwide, but it can also handle 2 simultaneous wars. In today's World Program, we will stop here. Thank you for watching. Please leave your comments to express your opinions. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel for continuous updates. Goodbye, and we'll see you in the next video.